Hey there Retro Games fans, this is Andy C from Pieces of 8-Bit and welcome to this week's Bit Between. Now, Mario Kart, which is what we're going to be looking at today on the Game Boy Advance. It sounds like an obvious choice, right? But back in 2001, this was a big deal, which is part of the reason why I wanted to have a bit of a look at it today. Because it wasn't just a spin-off, this was ultimately a full-blown Mario Kart experience, except for the first time it was in your pocket. And for a lot of people, myself included, this was the Mario Kart that we played the most. But it doesn't necessarily feel like our modern Mario Karts at all. But yes, today, obviously, we are going to be looking at Mario Kart Super Circuit on the Game Boy Advance. And whilst I don't think it gets talked about as much as the big console entries, this game quietly became one of the best-selling titles on the platform. And it is arguably one of the most important handheld races ever made. So whilst it seems an obvious choice to pick Mario Kart in my bit between, like a lack of imagination there, this is a game I played loads. I played this game loads and I absolutely love it. And I don't think it gets the recognition that it deserves. So that's why I wanted to come and have a look at it today. So let's set the scene then, first and foremost. It was released in 2001 for the Game Boy Advance, of course, and it was developed by Intelligent Systems. Yes, that's Intelligent Systems. This was the third entry in the Mario Kart series, despite feeling like perhaps there were more before. This is only the third one. So obviously we had Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart 64, and then this. It has 40 tracks, which for the time was massive when you considered how many the SNES had. 20 brand new circuits plus all 20 tracks from Super Mario Kart. So split between 20 new and 20 old circuits. And it sold around 5.9 million copies worldwide, and that made it one of the best-selling GBA games ever, actually. And the top non-Pokemon title on the system. Another reason why I also went to have a look at this, because I was looking at the best-selling games on the GBA, and we're going to be talking about Pokemon later in the week, and this is the first non-Pokemon entry at the top of the list, so it was a big seller. Nothing like as much as Pokemon, I'll tell you that much for nothing, but a lot. Very respectful nonetheless. Critically, absolutely smashed all the scores. We're talking 90s if you look at your Metacritic. A lot of praise for its depth. You can do multiplayer with it as well, of course, and there's just loads of content, which is fantastic. Now, when it comes to gameplay, obviously we're going to step into the gameplay in a little while, but this is where things get quite interesting, because Super Circuit isn't quite like the Mario Kart that we knew, that we're certainly not that we know today. It's actually much closer to the SNES original than anything else, that's definitely true. You've got coins affecting your top speed, tracks are very tight, they're very narrow and very technical, and drifting is not forgiving at all. Now, I used to be quite adept at this, so I'm expecting when we get back into the playthrough, having not played this for a little while, it's going to be tricky. You need precision and you need track knowledge, which I no longer possess, and if you mess up you will definitely feel it. So how does it compare to the console games? Well, it compares very well to the SNES version. It's basically a direct evolution. Same DNA, same feel, all of that kind of thing. But there's obviously a lot more content, better visuals, slightly refined controls. And you could argue this is the SNES formula perfected. And that kind of leans into the video I spoke about last week, where I talked about the hypothesis of the GBA perhaps being a bit of a mini SNES in your pocket. Or certainly that's what Nintendo were going for. Super Circuit obviously borrows all the characters and items and a lot of the presentation, but it does have, what it doesn't have, sorry, is the same kind of 3D spectacle, the same party atmosphere, of course, because it's not on a full-blown console, or maybe not so much that sense of chaos. It feels a little bit more focused, but perhaps a little bit less fun in a group setting. That doesn't mean it's not fun, though, nevertheless. And then later games, compared to the likes of Mario Kart Double Dash, which came on the GameCube, of course, around about the same time. This is a big contrast. Modern Mario Kart is very accessible. It's very chaotic. It's designed for everyone. Super Circuit is tougher. It's more technical and less forgiving. So it feels less like our modern Mario Karts on that basis. So where do we think it sits overall? Well, it's a bit of an odd one, really, because it's one of the best GBA games I think ever made. It was a huge commercial success, and it is a massive step forward for handheld gaming. But it's also kind of a forgotten middle child, really. I can definitely vouch for that. I think it's sandwiched between the jump to 3D with Mario Kart 64 and the personality explosion of Double Dash and Beyond, and what we recognise today as modern Mario Kart. And I think that's maybe why people don't necessarily talk about it as much. So let's get back in and let's have a bit of a play with it, and I'll let you know what I think of it. As always, I'm emulating this, but I'll talk a little bit about the game and my experiences of it as we get into it. I'm not sure how this is going to go, so let's let's see how we get on, and we'll go from there. But yeah, let's dive straight into the gameplay right now. Right then, let's go for single player. Obviously, if you were lucky enough to have some friends with a GPA, you could play Link Up. It's one of the great things on the Game Boy Advance back then. And we're just going to do a one-player game. And let's do a Mario GP. We'll probably only do a couple of races. I'm going to be a chicken and I'm going to play 50cc just because I haven't played this for ages. So I want to have some semblance of a halfway decent race. Let's just randomly pick, see what the system chooses for us. Yeah, okay, who are we going for? I think we're going for Yoshi by the looks of it. Let's just do the Mushroom Cup. Yes, I think I'm okay with that. I cannot remember any of the controls on the GBA, let alone emulated on here for recording purposes. I have had a bit of a play with this. Right, okay. And then it's, yeah, oh, that sort of worked, other than the fact that it didn't. Right, okay, here we go, straight into it. Now, it looks a bit weird on here. It definitely looks better on the GBA. I have played it on the GBA now. A slight confession to make. Now, I do own the fully legit version of Super Mario Kart on the GBA, Super Circuit, but when I had this game originally, I actually picked up, I think, a dodgy cartridge from, I think it was a market. I think I was in, I'm gonna say Tunisia or maybe Turkey. I picked up a, I picked up Mario Kart Double Dash. And sorry, not Mario Kart. This game, Super Circuit, and I thought it was. It certainly looks like the original, but yeah, it most certainly was probably a dodgy copy. It cost next to nothing, but it played alright. It worked fine on my GBA back at the time, and I played this loads. But yes, I have a legit copy of it now, so yeah, no need to come knocking on my door. It was years ago. Maybe it never even happened. So things to notice straight away. Yeah, I mean, certainly you can see it is very, very tight to play. I mean, obviously I've got this set on 50cc, so I've made it kind of easy for myself. Maybe I'll try the 100cc to give myself a bit more of a challenge on the next race. There we go, that's the first one done. And yeah, it definitely feels like SNES Mario Kart. It plays the same way, but it certainly feels like older Mario Kart than newer Mario Kart. And bearing in mind, obviously at this point, you know, 2001, it wasn't long until we had the GameCube. I realised I just didn't use any of my power-ups there. Right, so what I'm going to do, I am going to come back out of this, if I get a moment. So, oh, I don't think I can actually, can I? I don't think I can. Can I not? Ah, there we go, quit. Okay. I'm going to try a little bit more of a challenging one. So let's go Mario GP again just for fun. Let's go 100cc this time. Give myself a bit more of a challenge. Here we go for Luigi. It's a good bit of middle ground is Luigi. Let's go for a different circuit here. So let's go for the Mario circuit. Yeah, it feels very much more like the SNES version. Obviously, it's very, very pixelated on a big screen. But when you're playing this on the Game Boy, it feels a bit better. And again, like so many of these things, I should have been paying attention to the start instead of talking. Let me just see if I can get a power up here. Let's just do that first. There we go. I'm going to get the right button. It's one of the shoulder buttons to do that. Oh dear, I'm not doing any I can't remember how you do that. Oh, and it's actually this, isn't it? Yes. So if I use the other shoulder button, the R1 button, that'll allow me to do my little... Oh, that doesn't help me at all. Be able to do the little drifts. So I've got into full concentration mode now. Oh, there we go. That's cool. Right, okay. I can't remember if these give you a boost or not. Oh, this is really tricky now. I mean, admittedly, I'm making a bit of dog's breakfast, so I'm trying to demonstrate everything here. But yes, this feels very much like the SNES version, and obviously on the little screen on the GBA, it does look a lot better than this. Shrunk down. I mean, it is very, very pixelated. It's quite hard to play on the emulator because it is just looks a bit rubbish, but that's not a fault of the game. That's more just how I'm playing it right now. Obviously, the GBA, I have the GBA SP. I never owned the original GBA. Until now, I own a GBA now, original one, the purple one. But I still use the SP. The SP is just, it is so much better than the original Game Boy because of that backlit screen. And it's just, its whole form factor and everything else is just really, really nice. Well, that finished nice and quick, didn't it? 1 minute and 27. There we go. And for those of you out there that had a GBA, let me know your thoughts on Mario Kart. What did you think of Mario Kart Super Circuit? Is it something you played? Is it something you remember? How do you think it compares to Mario Karts on other systems? We'll do one more race and then I'll have a bit of a wrap up, I think. Right, hang on a minute. Yes, that's how we do it. And I've got to be a little bit more canny here because this is a track I can fall off. I do remember these, I just don't remember the layout, which is somewhat of a challenge. Way, it's better to slow right down than actually just fall off, isn't it? Oh, come on. This game is such a scam sometimes. Oh, I love Mario Kart. This is quite tricky, I have to say. Oh, hello. What have I done here? That probably wasn't... Oh, that was a shortcut. It was not a very good one because I had to slow right down to get it. Right. Oh, I didn't even see that. There was a random little gap in the side of the road there. Alright. Come on, Luigi. Let's get moving. Oh, my days. It's all gone a bit out of control. Right, here we go. I mean, I love... I mean, who doesn't love Mario Kart, right? I know there was the whole thing on the SNES... no, not the SNES, sorry, the N64 about Mario Kart versus Diddy Kong Racing and which is better and all that kind of thing. But, you know, whatever your views are, you can't help but love a bit of Mario Kart. It doesn't matter what platform it's on, does it? It's just great. And they are better played party games, I think. You know, whenever we have people over, if we have family over, you know, Mario Kart is always the thing that goes on the Switch. Whether it's the New World or whether it's 8, you know, when it was the Wii. It was Mario Kart Wii, you know, like it doesn't really matter. Obviously, we got Mario Kart 7 on the DS, which was really cool. So that was sort of the next kind of big handheld one. That was a bit of a phenomenon, I think. Yeah, people don't talk about this one very much. And to be honest with you, I'd almost completely forgotten about it. And now that I'm playing it again, I'm kind of really enjoying it. It is really tricky, though. It is very unforgiving. Oh, I've got a boot. Oh, I fell down the same hole. Come on. Oh, I'm going to try and get that boot up here now. Oh dear, that didn't go very well at all, did it? That's a horrible track. It's like a bit like Rainbow Road. It's just kind of like, you know, there's no room to... Oh, wait. Oh, yes, that's the other thing as well, of course. Yes, if you don't finish, that's it, you're out. It's not like you get points and you get to carry on to the end and maybe recover. It just doesn't happen. All right, let's go crazy. Let's do one 150cc race, which is going to be a catastrophe, let's face it. And let's see how we get on. And then we will leave it there and I will wrap up. Okay, let's go for Luigi Circuit this time. Oh, I'm Waluigi this time, I believe. I didn't actually pay attention to who I picked. Alright. I'll get a good start. It's all about the timing. So about there, I reckon. There we go. So just so, you know, for those of you who know Mario Kart, it's just on the 2. Just as it kind of, just before it goes off the 2. It's a bit hard to explain. It kind of just comes from experience, really, figuring it out. Oh, this is tricky. This is very tricky. A lot of understeer going on here. Oh dear, it's quite a hard course as well. Currently wallowing in 7th, I think, out of 8, which isn't really very good. I haven't actually ascertained whether you get a boost from doing any drift here at the moment. It's just I seem to be doing the drift so badly, and it is really, really unforgiving when you think about if you play modern versions of Mario Kart. You know, the drift is quite easy to do. This is really, really hard, actually. You know, and the thing I love about Mario Kart, and maybe this is a bit of a criticism of this particular version of it, what I love about Mario Kart is how accessible a game it actually is. Oh my days, I am making an absolute dog's breakfast of this. I love how accessible it is. It is such an accessible game. Oh, how have I spun around there? What happened there? Okay. You know, most people can just sort of pick it up and play it. You know, you don't need to be an expert. You can start in 50cc. I mean, to be fair, the 50cc is pretty easy anyway. Even on here. Oh, I just pressed the wrong button for brake then. Never mind. Oh, sorry. Concentration. Right, okay, let's go. Oh, dear me. What a catastrophe. Oh, lap 3. What a disaster. What a disaster. Well, there we go. That is it. That is Mario Kart Super Circuit. I'm going to stop torturing you with bad gameplay. That was really bad that time. Yeah, I haven't played. To be fair to me, I haven't played it for ages. But I tell you what, it is a really, really tricky game. So what we're going to do now is we are going to do a quick wrap up, and I'm going to tell you what I think of Mario Kart Super Circuit and whether I think you should go and have a look at it, and then we'll also talk about what's coming up next on the channel. I'll see you there. Alright, so there you go. That is my playthrough of Mario Kart Super Circuit on the GBA. So, question is, what do I think of it? What is my verdict for 2026? Well, it's a really tricky one because I think this is an important game, and I have a lot of love for this game. I remember this game very, very fondly from back in the day, and I used to play it a lot. One thing I do also remember is the cramp in my hands that I used to get, because obviously I had the SP version of the GBA, and if you played on it for a long time, it wasn't the most comfortable console to hold. Certainly the original GBA was a bit more comfortable when it comes to button positions, those kind of things. So I used to remember doing the race and then having a tremendous cramp in my hands if I played it for too long. That bit never went away, but that's not a fault of the game so much. It's just one of those things. But and to be honest with you, actually, even now, if I play on the Switch and use the Joy-Cons and remove them, it can be a bit of a it can be a little bit of a challenge as well. But it's a really tricky one because I just don't think I just don't think it's one of the better Mario Karts. So it's a tricky one. I feel like I'm going to give it 3.5 in my my patented parrot rating system. I'm going to give it 3.5, and there's a few reasons why. One of the reasons actually you can see on the screen right now. So this version, this is I think it's called the cheese something or other. I can't remember what the name of this one is. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky to see what you're doing, and honestly, I'm doing this in 50cc, and I'm still really, really struggling with it. I think the difficulty on it was a little bit too much for what you will eventually obviously come to expect from more modern Mario Karts, and I prefer the accessibility of Mario Kart from more modern entries. I think I just think that's what Mario Kart should be all about. I think anybody should be able to play it, and you can play it on 50cc and it be relatively easy to get on with, because ultimately it's a party game. Now, that's I think where this game has a bit of a problem, because it's not, you know, unless you know somebody else with a GBA, generally speaking, you're going to be playing this on your own, which is not really, in my opinion, what Mario Kart is all about. Mario Kart is all about playing with other people, and so I think that's where this game, it kind of gets let down a little bit, but it is unbelievably difficult. I was playing just this one that you're watching on the screen at the moment, really hard, even on 50cc, loads of obstacles, really difficult to master the drift and everything else like that. So if you want a really challenging game, then this is a good Mario Kart to pick. But if you want that sort of fun, accessible nature of Mario Kart, then I think the more modern entries are better. To be honest with you, I prefer Mario Kart 64, which of course came out before this. I just find that more, I don't know, I just find it easier to get on with. This feels very much like the SNES version. But yeah, very difficult. So, and that's not meant as a criticism, because 3.5 is still a respectable score. I could have given it 4 maybe, but I think this is a fabulous game, and I really enjoy it, and definitely you should go check it out. And if you've got a GBA, go and find yourself a copy of it. It's not expensive, and it is very definitely GBA, very definitely Mario Kart on the GBA, just very difficult. And I think I seem to recall when I played this back in the day that once you kind of master this a little bit more, it does become very challenging. I played on this loads. I must have enjoyed it back then because I played on it loads, and I've enjoyed playing it this time around as well. I've enjoyed coming back and having another look at it. So yeah, I think a really good solid Mario Kart entry. I don't think there's a bad Mario Kart game out there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't think of one. Obviously Mario Kart is the template for all of the kart racing games you see on any console or handheld. We've seen so many, and Mario Kart seems to be the template for all of them. This is what people strive to do, and Nintendo always do a good job of it. And despite the criticism of even the latest title of Mario Kart World, it's still a really good, accomplished game, despite the fact a lot of people say they still prefer 8, but it's not by any stretch of the imagination a bad game, and neither is this one. I don't think it's the strongest entry. I think it's probably one of the most forgotten entries, but it is a really good entry nonetheless. It plays really well. It's really fun. I really enjoy it, and I have been enjoying it on the GBA as part of the month with. So there you go. Do let me have your memories and thoughts on this game. Did you play it on the GBA? Did you really enjoy it? Had you mastered it? What were your thoughts and feelings about it? I'm really keen to understand how everybody else got on with it, and how you might rate it as well. Is it your favourite entry? Is it your least favourite entry? All of those things, do let me know in the comments below. So there you go. That is it for this week's The Bit Between. So coming up on the channel, we have got some discussion on Pokemon. So Pokemon's an unusual one on the GBA. I've spoken a little bit about this before. So yeah, it's a weird one because it's sort of largely considered to be not perhaps the best outing of Pokemon, but it sold significantly more copies. I mean, this was the best-selling game. Mario Kart Super Circuit was the best-selling game at 6 million copies, and the next best-selling game was 12 million copies of rebooted Pokemon for the GBA, and then the original, the sort of game that was made specifically for the GBA, sold 16 million copies. So that just gives you some indication of how unbelievably popular it was, despite the fact some people saying it really wasn't the best outing of Pokemon. So we're going to be exploring all of that on Friday. I am also thinking about doing a live stream if I get time next week, and I've not got any particular topic for it. I think I'm just going to maybe come on and have a bit of a chat. I've got some time, so we'll play a few games together, and yeah, we'll see how we go, but more on that to follow. Yeah, we are certainly rattling through the month of April, so it will be the end of this month with very soon. So obviously I'll also be talking about what it's been like to live with the GBA over the last 4 weeks when we get to it. So loads of things coming up. One thing I just wanted to say, I think I said in the video somewhere, I think I said Waluigi. I obviously meant Wario. I don't know why I said that. Waluigi just rolls off the tongue better, doesn't it? Anyway, I digress. So that is it then. If you enjoy these videos, please do hit that like and subscribe button. Really do appreciate your support. We are hurtling towards 1,000. And yeah, just leaves me to say, yeah, thanks very much for your support. Thanks for watching. Please do all take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye for now.